And just like that, it's over. It's over. It's over for the season 2 of And Just Like That. It's over for us recapping and talking about the show that we love. I hope you've taken the time out of your day to be here. I hope you got your favorite drink, your favorite snack, your favorite outfit. I hope you do dress up for these recaps of And Just Like That. And if you missed and you're new to the channel and you discovered this video because you love this show as much as we do and this community does, be sure to check out our past recaps, including last season and this season. I loved it. I talked more about last week's episode in my podcast, Kempire Radio. I called it And Just Like That, It's Over. Be sure to check that out. I don't know. There might be a part 2 to this as well. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed so you don't miss out on any of those things. We have to get into this. We have to talk about season 3. We have to talk about this finale. We have to talk about Kim Cattrall's cameo. Let's unpack this. But before we do any of that, shout out to everyone watching in the live chat. Shout out to everyone watching in the later on crew, replay crew, in the comment section. As always, be sure to let us know, where are you watching from? What's the temperature of where you're watching from? It's starting to cool off here in New York City and rainy. Also, don't forget to let us know how you'd rate this finale, and let us know how you'd rate the season overall of And Just Like That. Let's get into a countdown to notify the notification crew, and then let's get into this recap.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is the So Much More. And a shout out to all of our subscribers, our channel members. To become a channel member, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. We appreciate all of you being here. And of course, don't forget to say hello and thank you to our King's Guards, aka our moderators, holding us down in the comment section, but also in the live chat. And Just Like That is over. This episode, The Last Supper, the Entree, gave everything that I wanted it to give. These last few episodes, not just last week's episode or the week before, these last couple of episodes have been leading us up to this moment. And you know, we've sort of had mixed feelings about season 2, but we can tell that they have finally found their stride, especially now that the older characters, when I say older, meaning the original characters, and now these new characters are starting to seamlessly start to be involved in each other's lives. Okay. But before we get into the episode, first of all, we have to say congratulations. Congratulations, season 3, renewed. Come on now. Because a lot of you in the comment section were saying it seems as if they are sort of ending the show. Based off what you've been seeing in these last couple of episodes, you kind of had the feeling. And I said, I think you can see that, but I really strongly felt that season 3 was coming. I don't see the show ending after only 2 seasons. I definitely can see the show going on for at least 5 seasons. At least 5 seasons. So, The Last Supper. Oh, wait, no, sidebar. The other thing that I want to mention, and I'm so glad they didn't wait in this episode to get to Samantha, because I was like, when is it going to happen? What is this going to look like? We already knew, according to rumors, that, of course, it was going to be a phone call. They did not film together. She didn't even have Michael Patrick King direct her in this situation, allegedly. He directed this episode. I have not listened to the Writers Room podcast yet, but I will. So at the top of this, we get a cameo from Kim Cattrall. However, I did see when we heard the news of a season 3, them being renewed for a season 3, Kim Cattrall came out and said that she will not be a part of it. She said she loves the character. She loves playing the character. She always has a connection to Samantha Jones, but don't expect to see her in season 3. I believe that Kim Cattrall got a pretty penny for this cameo. Dare I say she got more in this cameo than she probably would have gotten paid for a movie? Because remember the rumors of why she decided not to do the third installment movie, which, if anything, we should probably be grateful. Because of that movie not happening, we got the series. If the movie had happened, we wouldn't have gotten the series. And now we're actually getting more of And Just Like That and Sex and the City than we would have gotten in a third movie. We would have did the third movie and then it would have been done. And maybe done forever. But now we've given new life to this whole situation. And now we have a whole new show. Very much the lesson that we're learning in season 2 of And Just Like That. There are no mistakes. With all of the characters in this damn show, it was hard to keep up. I did not take notes. I just took notes with my heart and my feelings. And that's where I will be speaking from. And please feel free to follow suit, okay, in the live chat and also in the comment section. Okay, so at the top we get, they don't waste any time. Okay, yes, Samantha calls. Yes, Carrie has a cat now named Shu. And I know some of you are like, Carrie would never have a cat. She's becoming an older lady. She's about to be alone. Oh, Carrie. Woo, woo, woo. Here's the thing. At the top of this, maybe because we know what's the word? Just the issues that have existed between Kim Cattrall and SJP and what we've heard about how this was filmed. The scene at the top of the scene, it felt a little awkward because it felt a little, yeah, this is being done separately. These two are not really interacting with each other. But they're such good actresses that as they're talking, you feel less of that. But at the top of it, it felt a little like, And we have to remember in the second movie, Samantha flew across the country in order to bid adieu to this apartment. So I think that's part of the reason why the producers and the writers wanted Kim Cattrall to come back this season and do that for this apartment, because she's now really letting go of this apartment. Sidebar, why did it get... I felt like, poor thing. Her downstairs neighbor that's buying the apartment, it felt like Carrie's selling her a lemon, but Carrie keeps pointing out, I sold her for a very good price. I mean, it is. First of all, it's Manhattan real estate. It's in the West Village, but technically, I know it's literally where it is in the West Village, but in the show, isn't it not supposed to be in the West Village? It's supposed to be somewhere else. I can't remember. I need to go look at my big, thick, coffee table book that I have of Sex and the City, because it will tell you, and it also shows you all the places in New York where they filmed Sex and the City. I'm a fan, okay? Oh, and you know I got to put a little pink on. Don't forget to get your merch, houseofkempire.com, or go to TheKempire.com and click the shop button. Isn't this a great color? I'm a Barbie girl. Anyways. So it feels like Carrie sold this woman a lemon. The buzzer's not working. She's pointing out cracks, a leak in the ceiling. It felt like that, but she got it for cheap. And it's Manhattan real estate. Good for her. Look, good for her. Just saying. Anyways, so Carrie has this phone call. Apparently, Samantha was going to come just for the night. Because Carrie's like, well, you know, we'll have breakfast, tomorrow. We'll see each other tomorrow. She's like, no, I was just coming for the night. And she puts her on speakerphone so she could bid adieu to this fabulous apartment. It was a nice scene. It was nostalgic. But I have said, and I know some of the hardcore Sex and the City fans were like, I'm not watching the show. The show is nothing without Samantha. It's been renewed for a third season without Samantha. And it was nice to get this little moment with Samantha, but I'm okay with Samantha not coming back. And we can dig a little bit deeper and talk about the issues amongst this cast. But for me, seeing that the majority of this cast came back, the majority of the people behind the scenes came back, and the only person that has a problem is Kim Cattrall. I don't hold this against Kim Cattrall. I will still enjoy her. I think she's a great actress. All the way back to Mannequin. Okay, girl. She's part of my childhood. So for me, look, I'm okay with her not being a part of the show, and I'm okay with her. I'm not going to villainize her. It is what it is. They weren't able to see eye in eye. I think it was great she was able to come back and do a cameo, but we're good. Thank you for your services. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Charlotte, because Charlotte's big thing this season was about finding herself, both physically, but also career-wise and emotionally. And Harry comes and wakes her up because, last week she went out with the girls, not the girls, her coworkers, got drunk. So she's waking up hungover, and Anthony's there to talk about butt sex. And Harry is just like, I need you to come talk to him. I'm busy. I'm doing all the things. And she's like, I've been doing this for years. You're not taking care of everything. You're taking care of some things. Because let's be real. She might be working now. It doesn't mean that he's officially taken over everything. She's still doing a lot of the house stuff and taking care of work stuff. And she makes sure she makes it known to him. I enjoyed seeing Charlotte's progression this season. I like the fact that she is back out there pursuing something that she's passionate about, because that's important. I know a lot of mothers, look, let me not mansplain. Someone said that in the comments the other day. I was like, really? I'm not trying to tell a woman how to feel or what. I'm just trying to talk about what I think is happening with people and what I've heard from women. But I'll say this. I feel as if that Charlotte and a lot of mothers and a lot of women, especially when they have children, lose their sense of self, lose themselves, like sometimes anyone loses themselves in a relationship. A lot of mothers give up a lot of what they want to do and be for their children. So we see this season that Charlotte is trying to do that and reminding herself, oh yeah, I used to be pretty damn good at this art world stuff. And apparently I still am. It'll be interesting to see the growth of her work and who she is in season 3. I wonder what direction, because I know these writers and producers, they already kind of know where they want to go in season 3. And I'm not surprised that they got renewed for a season 3. We don't know the ratings, but we did hear in season 1 that they had like the biggest ratings of the entire network. So I wasn't shocked that in season 2, because everybody loves to hate on it, but they're watching secretly. So that's what we're having with Charlotte. Let's talk about Miranda. Let me tell you something. Steve, a lot of us love Steve. A lot of us, because I have to say, I see a lot of love in the comment section and in the live chat for Steve. We love Steve, especially this season. Steve is finding his way. As you know, he has this new clam and bar place on the beach. So Miranda goes there to see him. And she says to him, and I appreciate her because look, Che is new. You don't need to have a relationship with Che. You didn't have a long-standing relationship with Che. You don't need to salvage that. And I saw what you guys said in the comment section. There is nothing wrong with cutting someone off when you're done with them, when you're done in a relationship. I saw you people. I was like, is that wrong? And a lot of you said no. Because I feel like someone like Che, you could cut off. But someone like Steve, who you have years of history with and a son with, and there will be times where you'll have to be together. I love that Miranda went to him and had this conversation. And you still see the spark, the magic, not in Miranda's eyes, but in Steve. Steve will forever have something for Miranda. Because I think even in that moment where she's like, I still want to know about what's going on in your life. I still want to be a part of your life. I don't want to hear about it from someone else. First of all, these are some of the best actors on this show. So anytime we see a scene with them, I'm like, oh, because you remember the bridge scene. Like, we've had some really great scenes between Miranda and Steve. And this particular scene, I could care less about everything else in the episode. I mean, I did. But you know what? But what pulled at my heartstrings was this scene. Because it was so phenomenally written and done by these actors. They really just they just they did what they were supposed to do as actors, make us feel something. And I felt it. Look, and then when Brady just pulls up and sees them showing affection towards each other, I don't think he believes, oh, they're going to get back together. Maybe he does. I don't think so. He's grown at this point. You know, if you come from divorced parents, you know, like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm grown enough to know. But some of you are still stuck in the past. You want your parents to get back together. I'm not judging. I'm judging. But he pulls up and he just gives a smile. He just gives a smile. And you know what? You know who I see? I see little Brady. Is this the same actor? I think it's the same actor that played little Brady. I see that same smile. And I'm just like, because we've been through so much with Steve and Miranda. Like the roller coaster of their relationship, and then their baby, then their marriage, then the cheating, and then the getting back together. And now this new chapter. It will be interesting to see where they go for it. I still want to see more of Steve. Just the same way that we get little bits of Steve. I liked it. But that's not it for Miranda. Because Miranda sees Che at this goodbye, Last Supper. I just want to cover each character, guys. So I'm not going to go in the order of the episode because I don't think it's necessary to go in the order of the episode, especially when I'm talking about each character. So at this event, Miranda goes up to Che and is just like, we're not going to ruin Carrie's party. And Miranda's just like, I didn't realize that our end was that bad for you to talk that way about me. And a lot of you felt like, no, Che was wrong for the way that they spoke about Miranda in that stand-up show. I still stick by what I said. I'm like, that is just who Che is. And even Che sticks by what they said. They're like, no, I thought it was pretty damn funny. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. But I promise you, I will not talk about you anymore in my act. So apparently Che's getting back into the comedy. Maybe. We're not sure. Sidebar. Sada is not necessarily a part of the cast officially. I believe Sada is sort of like a series regular because I was looking at the credits and so I was like, oh, we'll see. Will Che come back? I do like Che. I like Che. I know some of you say you like Che more as Carrie's friend. Sidebar, speaking of Carrie's friend, the podcast bond that Che, Jackie, and Carrie have, I liked it when they embraced. There's something about their chemistry that I do enjoy. And I love seeing these two comedians really just rip each other apart. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like that's why I know some of you are like, oh, those jokes were terrible. No, comedians, like, and every comedian's different. But if you go to like a stand-up show, if you hang out with comedians, oh, it gets dark. And you're like, but comedians get it. If it's a joke, if the joke lands right, it's probably the darkest and dirtiest joke that you've ever heard. I love a comedian. I have dark humor. Some of you probably don't even realize that. Some of my favorite comedians are some of the darkest comedians. I have dark humor. I love it because I try not to take things too seriously. Until I do. Because I'm also a Taurus. Come on now. So, Che. What is going on with Che in this episode? Not a lot is going on with Che. But we do see at the end of this episode, Che and, oh my God, Toby? Look at me remember the name. The other NB that they met at the veterinary office. They are in something, so maybe we'll see more of that next season. We shall see, or maybe not. You might not care. All right, let's talk about, okay, I just have to say one thing. I was right. Because remember, I had a lot of assumptions. I told you my story about my doctor and things like that, and then we were talking about Lisa Todd Wexley, LTW. She looked great, Nicole Aria Parker, in this episode. And, ooh, more phenomenal acting. But I was right. Remember I said, she says in this episode, did I wish this baby awake? No, we find out this week that yes, she did have a miscarriage. We all assumed that's what happened. She confirms that. She says that to to Charlotte at the party. And Charlotte, oh my gosh, Kristen Davis, she knows how to play Charlotte so well because you read it all over Charlotte's face. Like Charlotte wanted to say everything. Charlotte was getting emotional, but she didn't say a word. You just read it on her face. That's acting. That's acting. Acting. But I was right. Remember I said there were a variety of feelings and emotions that went through LTW's face in that moment when she lost this baby. But it was guilt. And guilt is one of the words that she uses when Carrie plays that game. You know, one word or one thing that you want to let go of. And I forgot who was sitting next. Oh, it was Miranda who says guilt. And then LTW was like, I know the rule is to choose another word, Carrie, but no, guilt is my word. Because she runs to the bathroom during this party because she's feeling guilty. She's like, did I wish this baby away? And then, of course, the husband is going through, because I think men also get lost in the story of miscarriages and things like that. We've seen this play out in other shows and scripts and things like that. Men also suffer the loss as well. It's maybe not as deep as a woman because she's physically going through it. So men go through something too, and we see a little bit of that with her husband in this episode. So we're getting updates on that, but let's talk about Naya. So Naya, more phenomenal acting from everyone on this team, because Naya gets the good news. She got this, amazing opportunity. She's going to be honored, going to be a part of this loss situation, and goes home to tell Miranda, the first person that I wanted to call was her ex, Entree. And a divorce, very much like when you lose someone, it's like losing someone. It's a death. And that's the first thing that came to mind, because I remember when I lost my sister, you're so used to calling or texting that person, that first moment of, oh, wait, I can't text that person. I can't call that person. That person is no longer here. That person is no longer in my life. And yes, her ex-husband is still alive and still around, but that's not the person that she can call. And she says, I have this good news. I have this amazing life, but I have no man to share it with. And the minute she says that, she's judging herself. Naya is judging herself for saying that, because it's wrong in the world to say, I want to share this with someone. But it's not. It's not wrong to want to share your life with someone. It's not wrong. That's the whole point. And if you listen to my podcast, Kempire Radio, I've talked about this recently, where it's great to have the fame, the money, the opportunities, all of these things. But if you don't have your health, most importantly, or someone to share it with, we don't come in this world to be alone. We come to have experiences, be it with sexual relationships, be it with love relationships, be it with friendships, be it with family situations. We don't come in this world to be alone. But I saw the judgment on her face, because she admitted it. She said what people are always trying not to say, and saying that I want someone in my life. And yes, we do. Gary Dourdan, first of all, he looks good. He has aged so well. He looks really, really good. Of course, he makes a comeback. He's the Michelin chef that is going to be cooking for the group. All right. And immediately, because at first, Naya was like, I'm not going to go. And then Miranda's like, no, you got to come. Just one word, Michelin chef. And thank God she does. Because she meets the same guy that she met at that bar that he owns. Okay? And of course, she's just flirting with him the entire night. Flirting with him, and everyone's like, get around Anthony. Let's talk about Anthony. So Anthony has been struggling because he's like, I've never been a bottom. I don't want to do this. But the symbolism behind the sexual part of this conversation is the amount of walls and control that Anthony has in his life. And even when he was with Stanny, he was pushing Stanny away. He never really was vulnerable. And Giuseppe is just like, I'm going to go back to Italy. He's just like, I've hit a wall here. And when he says he's hit a wall when it comes to New York. And a lot of people, when they move to New York, they do hit a wall and they end up leaving. But now he's hit a wall with Anthony. Anthony's not opening up to him. And it took him already. He's been working to peel back the layers with Anthony these last few months. And then eventually they do. They have this conversation. Mind you, the gay guy's in the closet. The symbolism, a fabulous closet, but the symbolism of them in the closet talking about control and breaking down walls. And then they do. And then, at this end of this episode, we see everyone having intimacy and relations and things like that. Beautiful, beautiful. And we see, and you probably don't know this, especially you heterosexuals, all of those little different bottles of things that were on the nightstand, they were trying all the different types of lube for Anthony. I mean, it's a journey, Anthony. It's a journey. All right. Speaking of walls. Okay. Seema. Oh, how I adore Seema. I adore her. She has some walls up and some insecurities because she feels vulnerable in this moment because she said, I love you first. And she said it during sex, even though he said it as well. She feels like he's different now. He's always on his phone. He's back on his phone. And Carrie's just like, take a breath. And I felt in that moment, this is the good acting. I said, if she takes a breath, Carrie, she might break. She might break down. But then eventually she does take a little bit of a breath. But then she loses it. And this is what I like about the writing here and how they played this. Because in that moment, they could have made it all like, oh, she took a breath and everything was better. No, she took a breath, but the insecurity was still there. Insecurity was still there. She confronts him. She's like, oh, I said I love you and now you're running off. He eventually then invites her to come with him to Egypt for 5 months. And she's just like, and he's like, you own your own business. You can do it. It's just like, no, I'm not doing that. Not for a man. Well, do it for yourself, girl. Do it for yourself. I don't know if I want to go to Egypt for 5 months, but I'll go for a little bit and then go somewhere else. So she eventually has this conversation. She breaks down her own wall and has this conversation with him. And she feels better about it. It's only 5 months. I mean, I assumed being with someone that's like him, that's a director that's filming all different types of places, that he would be traveling a lot. But he also said, I have to come back anyway. You got me in this lease, this ironclad lease. So I will be back. I will be back. Guys, if you're just joining us, as always, do not forget to like the video. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Other people that are talking about this show or has similar content will start to show up on your algorithm. And as always, sharing is caring. Tell a friend to tell a friend about what we're doing here on the channel. We don't just talk about And Just Like That. We don't just talk about reality TV. We talk about everything in pop culture. If you missed it yesterday, we dropped 2 different videos and shorts here on the channel talking about a variety of pop culture news. We also had a Real Housewives of Orange County recap. We also had a recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15 reunion trailer. We had a lot to say there. So be sure to go give those a like and a comment. Share your thoughts. All right. So back to this. Let me just make sure that I'm covering all the people that I want to talk about in this thing. Okay. Let me see. Because I just want to make sure I have, because I'm holding off on talking about the entire Carrie situation. All right. Wow. I got through everybody, I think. Yeah. We didn't even see any of the kids. Well, speaking of the kids, I had this feeling last week when we ended the episode with Aidan crying in the car because his son, Wyatt, basically got drunk and crashed the car. All right. He comes back. He finally comes into the apartment, which I'm sure I have to listen to the Writer's Room podcast. Him coming into this apartment that he swore that he never would and wanting to talk to Carrie meant something serious. And he tells Carrie that he can't commit to the schedule that they've had, 1 week off and 1 week on. anymore. He has to be there for Wyatt. His home, the farm, is Wyatt's home. And it's always been that way. And I know a lot of people are like, really? He doesn't want to be with his mom? His mom, based on the type of job they've given this character, was never really home. He was the central focus, the main parent, the primary parent for the boys. And Wyatt can't deal with what's going on. And Aidan feels probably because since he started doing this, Wyatt has been acting out. How do you guys feel about this? It broke my heart, but when he said, give me 5 years, I was like, 5 years? For what, sir? I'm 50-something years old. 5 years? And the fact she just sold her home. But remember, I said, if you're going to sell this home, and he said this too, do this for you. Don't do this for me, because you're going to be very upset by selling this, and now we can't be in a relationship. They end up making love regardless. I thought it was done. Would you be able to make love to that person after they basically broke up with you? Because she's talking about, well, I'll come down there or do that. And he's like, no. How did that make you all feel? I want to know. Live chat, comments. I have to say, in that moment, I was like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew you would do this to me. I knew it. And I was like, is he doing this intentionally to break her heart the way she broke his? No. We know in all reality, Aidan is a different man. He's a father of 3. He's the main parent in these boys' lives. So to see one of his kids going through what he's going through, and of course, Carrie can't argue with that, he has to step up until Wyatt is old enough to take care of himself. Well, technically, how old is Wyatt? Wasn't he 14 he just turned 15? So that's really 3 years. But would you really wait 5 years for someone? Would you? I mean, I don't know if I would wait. Not literally wait. I'm not closing my legs. Look. I'm not doing that for 5 years. I'm still going to live my life. You can check on me in 5 years and see where I'm at, but no promises. No promises. But they're grown. They had a grown conversation. They still love each other. But I'm not waiting no 5 years, and I'm not making any promises. He said 5 years would be like, I thought it was cute. I thought it was great for our entertainment value. But in reality, are you really waiting 5 years? No, I'm not waiting 5 years, Aidan. You look great, Aidan. It was nice having you back in my life for what you did. Actually, what you did, and this is why there are no mistakes. And they said that this was not a mistake, because maybe she needed Aidan to come back into her life so that she could move on from Big, so that she can move on from the past of this apartment, so that she can actually start moving forward. Damn, I love this show. Damn, I love this show. So they didn't go to the Hamptons, Seema and Carrie. They went somewhere better. Somewhere I went this summer, Greece. They go to Greece. So it's so funny. I went to Greece. So hearing them speak the language, I was just like, oh, I kind of know what they're saying. Well, not verbatim, like certain little things, greetings and things like that. I love the friendship that's been built between Carrie and Seema. I love the friendships that are being built with people like LTW and Charlotte. I love Miranda and Naya's relationship as well. And I'm looking forward to see what direction season 3 goes in. What about you? Guys, as always, don't forget to like this video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And let's continue this conversation in the comments section. I want to know, replay crew, your thoughts on the different moments and things that maybe I missed and maybe I need to talk about. And maybe after I listen to the Writers Room podcast, I'll have more thoughts. Maybe I'll do it here on YouTube, or maybe I'll do it on the podcast. So be sure to be subscribed to all the things. And if you miss our And Just Like That, It's Over episode on Kempire Radio, be sure to head on over there. And don't forget to rate and review the podcast. And don't forget to share the podcast. The visual version of our podcast always is uploaded to the Kempire Radio podcast YouTube channel. Although this particular episode of my part 2 recap there will not be a visual version. That's why you got to listen to everything and watch everything. Thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, the super stickers, the Venmo, the Cash Apps. All of that helps support the channel to continue. So we're able to talk about things very openly as much as we can here on the platform without relying on ad dollars. So we do appreciate your support. And shout out to our channel members for your monthly support. That doesn't go unnoticed either. Thank you for allowing us to continue to create freely. And again, what's the biggest lesson that I can take away from And Just Like That season 2 is that there are no mistakes in life. Even though you may hit bumps in the road, you may fall on your face, but you're still here. You're still moving forward. That is what we can see in all these characters. That through the bumps that they've gone through this season, it's led them to where they are now and where they will be in the future. Season 3. Let's continue this conversation of one of our favorite shows to talk about, And Just Like That, in the comments section. Thank you all for being here. Let's get out of here with some music. Happy Friday. I will see you all in the next video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Bye, y'all.
Feeling something for me.